I got lots of love for my crew that is. You know.
Soldier boy, tell.
What up? You already know what time it is. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman. Tonight, we're back in the streets drafting either a Dalmatian or a Best Ball Mania 5. We'll see what can fill. In the meantime, we're advancing 3 out of 4 Albatross teams from the semifinals to the finals. It's a 310-person final round. Top prize is 50 grand. So I've got 3 bullets. And shout out to Brian in the Pounders Discord, the only person I've seen so far who has more bullets than me. He's got 4 in the chamber. But I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of sickos out there who probably have even more teams in this final. So looking forward to that. That's going to be going on at the Open at Royal Troon in about a month. We'll come back to this. Let me see if we can enter this Dalmatian. If we're waiting on waiting on 11 people, let's check back on that and review the teams in the meantime. What up? How you doing tonight, Tyler? Hope you're having a great Sunday night, my man. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I'm feeling pretty good after watching Bryson DeChambeau. I had 75% exposure to Bryson DeChambeau across these 3 teams. All 3 advanced. I had 50% of these teams with Matthew Pavon, and both of those teams advanced. And so let's look at this first team. One of my advancing teams, this one scored, I think, the second most, over 560 points. And started off with Xander, Patrick Cantlay. It was a pretty good combo for this tournament in particular. Cameron Smith, I think he has a pretty good track record playing the Lynx. So I'm looking forward to him, carrying him along on this team to the Open next month. Of course, we've got the reigning U.S. Open champion, 2-time U.S. Open champion winner, Bryson DeChambeau, the People's Champ. We also have Boys to Men Woo Lee on the team, throwing up 68 points. He was a low scorer on my team, but definitely a good pick. I've got Henley, who came in clutch late. Could have used a score from Siwoo Kim. He did just fine. I think he had a big Sunday. Corey Connors was a huge part of this team, and then we also got Nick Taylor, Adrian Maronk, who's a live guy. But I think all of these players are live for the Open. I'll have to check back. Thanks for joining the stream tonight. Just reviewing these Albatross drafts. I got 3 of them. Let me see what's going on with this Dalmatian. I just entered the Dalmatian. If you want to draft the Dalmatian with me, feel free to jump in, because still waiting on 10 more to fill the Dalmatian. If it doesn't fill by the time we review these Albatross teams, then I'm going to switch it over to a Best Ball Mania 5. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to me. I was at the pool all day. It was a great day. All right, next team. Boom. This one I'm especially excited about. And actually, the one we just reviewed is my lowest scoring advancing team. This one, just a bit higher. But I'm carrying John Rahm, who's debatably, the second or third or fourth best golfer in the world right now. Over the last year for sure. So I've got John Rahm on this team. I'm really excited about that. I think he'll have a great showing at the Open. Colin Morikawa's on this team. Spieth is having a pretty, I would say, a bad down year. Of course, Bryson. Tony's on this team. He's having a pretty good year. That's an exciting pick. Again, we got Let 'Em Cook Chef, Boys to Men Woo Lee on this squad. A guy that I was drafting a ton of. So a ton of Pavon, a ton of DeChambeau, Minwoo Lee. In the last team, I'm pretty sure I had DeChambeau with my 3rd overall pick. On this one, he goes like 5th overall. All right, and then Adam Scott on this team, just fine. He can always surprise, but he's having just a fine year. Corey Connors again on this one, so that's pretty sweet. Justin Rose, previous major winner, just like Adam Scott, so you never know what these guys can do. And then, of course, Pavon was on this team. Clutch. Him and Bryson, especially with Tony, was clutch for advancing. Still waiting on 9 more for the Dalmatians, so let's review this last team. This is my highest scoring team. Looking pretty good for the Open. Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa was a common start that I went with. Bryson in the 3rd. Sam Burns is on this team. He's been playing pretty decent. Henley again, a guy I drafted a ton of. I'm excited for this team because this one was drafted on February 11th, and so I've got Hideki with my 6th overall pick. By the end of right before the draft was closing, Hideki was going in the 2nd, 3rd round. So great value on this team. Siwoo Kim is a nice, could have a good Open. Plays well at the links. Justin Rose, previous major winner. Pavon again, and then Gary Woodland, wild card. I drafted a lot of Gary Woodland. So that's the squad. I'm going to go ahead and pull out of this Dalmatian. It still needs 9 more to start. These things just don't fill. I'm going to enter a Best Ball Mania. Cool. Still waiting on 6 more for a Best Ball Mania. Yeah, season-long PGA is pretty fun. I got into it last season with the FedEx Cup playoffs, so playoff Best Ball PGA. I thought that was pretty good. And then got into the season long this year with the Scramble. Didn't have any Scramble teams advance. My last one's lost this week. And then now I've got these 3 Albatross advancing to the final. So should be nice. Check on this Best Ball Mania. Still needs 3 more to start, so let's switch over to that. Cool. 1 more to start. All right, drafting out of the 12th spot. Oh, Andrew's in this one. Touchdown King 23. Looks like he's getting some late night drafting in. Yeah, having a great weekend, Tyler. Been chilling, kicking at the pool today, firing off these drafts, watching a lot of golf. You can tell I'm pretty into the PGA Tour, and the best ball is actually pretty fun. The Albatross, that type of tournament is just, to me, very similar to like typical best ball mania drafting strategies. Try to take the best players, ADP value, all those types of like structural drafting similarities. And then the scramble is the complete opposite. The scramble is more like, it's kind of like in some ways similar to playoff best ball for NFL. In a lot of ways it's also different. But then there's also, and that's season long, there's also the Pup Cup, which is the FedEx Cup. So it's PGA playoffs best ball, which is really fun, and just pretty similar also to the NFL best ball in the playoffs, where if your players don't make it to the next round, then you're kind of just out of luck. The team's dead. If those golfers, just like those NFL teams, they get eliminated in a certain round of the playoffs, if the golfers get eliminated in round 1 or 2, they don't make it to the third round of the FedEx Cup. There's ways to draft around that and get really creative. Picking out of the 12 spot, let's see what falls to me. On the clock. Do I go Nico? Mm-hmm. I decided to go Puka, Marvin Harrison on that one. Been taking a lot of Nico, but I got lucky with Puka falling there to the 12th spot. Usually I can take Puka around like 9 or 10. And then if he's going to line up nicely with Marvin Harrison, I'll go ahead with that start. I think it's going to be a pretty commonly owned, in teams that draft wide receiver out of the 12th spot. Puka, Marvin Harrison's going to be really, really common. But that's, I think just lean into that a little bit as well. Don't want to be underexposed to it. I've been building out a ton of teams around the Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals from the back half of the draft. So it feels like a pretty good start. I just hate having to wait that long for my 3rd and 4th pick, and it never feels like a lot of value falls at the end of the third and fourth round. It just feels like all the best picks are already gone over. So, but last year, picking out of the 12th spot could have got you CeeDee Lamb and a Amon-Ra start, so could be good. Yo, what up, Felix? Felix likes the lo-fi music. Turned on before. That's hilarious. Man, this is what I would study to late at night. This is like vibing music. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, pretty basic stuff. I like the Breece Hall, Nico Collins start. Let's see what Andrew does. He's got Jamar Chase. Yo, and everyone in the chat, make sure you check out the recent content that Felix and Best Ball Nation have been dropping over the last week, but also today. Some good stuff over there. Okay. Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle's a really fun start. Arguably, both those picks are better than my 12 and 11 or 12 and 13. So I just don't want to be underexposed to Marvin Harrison. And then I love taking Puka in the first round at the last couple picks. I'll probably take Puka over Gibbs and Wilson every time. Yeah, man, appreciate you putting that content out. Good stuff. I can always check in with Felix in his streams to see what's going on with, especially what's going on DK. I feel like he's got his finger on the pulse there. Definitely a site that I have not really used, but still enjoy, looking at how people draft those teams and how it's slightly different and different strategies that can come from either platform. Okay, CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry. To me, that's a little unique. That could be a really cool start. You get CeeDee Lamb. Dallas Cowboys have a Week 17 matchup with the Philadelphia Eagles, so that Saquon pick, it's a nice little value grab there. It's a total different world over there, says Felix. That's what I'm saying. Like, PPR, more roster spots, bonuses, as far as I understand it. So I like to check in, see what people are doing over there in the DK streets. Andrew goes with Smith. He's taken off with wide receivers. That's probably who I'm going to have to play catch up with.
Soldier boy, tell.
That and the team next to him actually looks pretty good. Jet, Debo, Neighbors at 29. I like that. I was kind of hoping Cooper Kupp would fall. I've been seeing Cooper Kupp go in the first half of the third round these days. I don't know what's up with that. What up, Tyler? Andrew's drafting the 21 wide receiver draft class. Yeah, he really is when you look at it, which is a great class. Big contracts. ETN goes in the third round. I've been drafting a lot of ETN, but I usually get him anywhere from pick 42 to, I got him at 48 on a cardio club draft that I did a bit earlier today. So I couldn't skip out on the value. Even though I started with CMC, I had to scoop up ETN at 48. I actually took Pacheco at 49. I'm trying to increase my exposure to Pacheco anytime I can get him. Probably the back half of the fourth round, or we're at ADP is fine too. This is fun. Let's see. I'm definitely going to go Diggs. Do I also take Dell? between Dell and Laporta. I think Laporta is a better start. But then I can't take Kittle. Wait. I think I'm kind of conflicted. I do want to go Dell. I'm gonna go Laporta. I think it just makes sense. I get a lot of options there. I could go with any of those 4 QBs that would stack up with my first 4 picks. I got 4 pass catchers through 4 rounds. Kind of like ideal. Giving me a lot of different outs at QB. Can either go with Matt Stafford and Puka, then I get to bring back with Harrison, or if I end up getting Kyler, would have to be pick 84, 85 for Kyler. Stafford much later. Goff much later. Stroud would need to come to pick 61 or 60. Hard to tell in this room. I thought I recognized another name. I like this drafter out of the 5 spot. He's got Jet, Debo, Neighbors, Pickens. Pretty sure it's a guy I know on Twitter. Shop. If so, what up? And then Marker Tassel is a name I've definitely seen a lot before. Zach Jackson. Bridge Burner. That's a fun one. I like the smart names. When you see something like Bridge Burner, that's, you can remember that between drafts. Cool. So, like I said, if Stroud comes all the way back, I'd be surprised. And if I took Tank Dell there, I'd be hard committing to getting CJ Stroud, because you feel kind of left out if you didn't have Lamar Jackson or CJ Stroud, but then you had Diggs and Tank Dell on your team. Catch you later, my man. Peace. See you, Felix. Catch you next time. Have a great weekend. Mahomes goes, but my confusion there is, why would you take Jaden Reed and then go Mahomes? I guess Pacheco is gone, Kelsey's gone, but wouldn't you want to pick your favorite there? I mean, it's a little early, but you could take Xavier Worthy, or you could take Hollywood Brown. If you're going to take Mahomes, you might as well get one of them. I've had the option to take Mahomes there with Travis Kelce. No, actually not Kelsey. It was Pacheco or Worthy. And I passed on getting Mahomes, but I feel like I'm definitely underexposed to Mahomes. I was underexposed to Mahomes last season also. Just very expensive to pay up. It could totally pay off. But I'm just saying, if you're going to get Mahomes, you want him stacked up. You don't want to go. I mean, you can still get Rice in 72, 73. Rice's ADP's still in the 80s, which I think is ridiculous. So almost back on the clock. I'm not going to jinx it, but the guy who took Tank Dell also drafted Josh Allen. Dalton Kincaid's off the board. I kind of was hoping Kincaid would fall to him so that he wouldn't be tempted to take Stroud, and I can get him. So I've got a chance to get Stroud here. I think it's what I want to do. If I take Stroud and Mixon, kind of seems ideal here. I'm going to have to miss out on this first tier of elite tight end. Take a look at the wide receivers. I'm not crazy about these options over Mixon. The only issue now is I've committed to Stroud, which I think is a great move here. I've got some ideas for how I can get a bring back on the Ravens later. There's a few players I have in mind that usually go pretty late. And then I've already got them with Diggs and Mixon. It's a great start. Going with like a hero or late hero RB kind of approach, elite tight end. Could still, if Kyler falls to me at 84, there's a chance I could take him, but that's spending a lot of draft capital at QB that I feel like I don't necessarily have to do. Peace, Tyler. Thanks for chilling. Catch you in another draft, my man. George Kittle goes to the Travis Kelce team. Something I did recently, but not necessarily on purpose. It's interesting to have two tight ends before you have a single running back. That's what happened to me too, though. Ended up getting a running back. I think it was pick 79 or 90. Right around that range. Let's look at Shop's team. He decides to take Anthony Richardson before I took Stroud. So that helped me land Stroud. I like the pairing of Malik Neighbors with Anthony Richardson. Definitely a priority to get AR-15, Anthony Richardson, quarterback of the Colts. They play the New York Giants in Week 17. That's a fun one. So it's a good start. Worked out. Obviously didn't get Michael Pittman, but there's a lot of ways you can still play that with Anthony Richardson. Let's see what Andrews' team ended up doing. He grabbed Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, which was clutch. Helped me. I guess he wouldn't have been a threat to take Stroud, but helped me because I wasn't really targeting those guys. I didn't think there'd be any chance either one of those would fall, and I'd already committed to Laporta. And then he gets Calvin Ridley, so he's hammering wide receivers. I like his first four wide receiver picks. Very similar build to mine. Taking a QB early. He's got elite rushing upside though, so I like that on his team. And then we both took an elite tight end. I took a running back because it made sense to team stack the Texans here. He stuck with Calvin Ridley. I think he'll probably take a running back at this pick 76 if I had to guess, but I'm not 100% sure who's on the board. And he goes with JSN. Very interesting. 5 wideouts deep. Continues to push running back. I like it. I've done it before in that spot. I definitely like that move. Bridge burner. Grabs Rashee Rice ahead of ADP. Smart. Tacks on Jake Ferguson. I don't know about that. What should I do with this next pick? It's pretty much, I call the Christian Watson pick the end of the wide receiver tier with a lot of upside splash plays. Interesting that Evan Ingram's still there. I don't think I want him though. Deontay is still a wide receiver 1, so he's an interesting pick. Give me a nice value scoop up there. Kyler's still there. I'm kind of tempted to do Kyler. Jameson, not a terrible pick. Allows me to go more into Detroit. I can get Goff later. I like Jameson at ADP where he is here. I don't think I can pass up on Deontay. I think he's a good pick here. And then Kyler, Connor, Warren, J-Mo. I kind of like it more with Kyler. Yeah. I would call this, you have a young, ascending, elite pocket passing quarterback who could rush for touchdowns also, and then Kyler back into form, another year away from the injury. Elite rushing upside. Hopefully he still kind of has that ability. And then that gives us a really nice floor and ceiling for QB. Definitely going to stop there with 2 quarterbacks. I've got 2 QBs through my first 8 picks. It's a little bit rich. Don't usually do that, but I think the way the board felt to me, it worked out. I still feel good with the 4 wideouts that I have. So I've got Puka, Marvin Harrison Jr., Steph Diggs. Went with Sam Laporta and then got CJ Stroud to fall, come back around. Got lucky there. So I take Stroud at 60, Mixon at 61. I've got 3 Texans. Deontay Johnson, I think, is just a good pick in the 7th round. Compared to the other wideouts that are here, I mean, can he outperform Shaheed? He most certainly would, all things considered healthy. I like a lot of these running backs that went right before me, so I was kind of tempted to go back to wideout after that run on running backs. And I still liked a lot that were on the board here, but I didn't want to pass up on Kyler, Marvin Harrison Jr. connection, and then I already had Puka, so it felt like it was a good fit. That's how it goes. Jameson makes it all the way back to 90. That's where he originally was going, kind of maybe a month ago or even a little bit earlier than that, but that's where I was feeling way more comfortable taking him. And he was even higher than that. I'm pretty sure his ADP was much higher previously. Andrew's first running back's Zamir White. That's a leg grab. That's an interesting one. Jalen Warren goes the pick before. David Montgomery, Jalen Warren backfield is pretty strong. 1-2 when you go what's pretty much, I would call that 0 running back. But then you still get 2 guys like David Montgomery, Jalen Warren. Great picks. Obviously splitting work in the backfield, but Lions are a top offense, scoring a ton of touchdowns. And then Jalen Warren just could be that guy, takes over backfield. I've got a fair amount of Warren, probably like 20% exposure, maybe 18. And then it still surprises me how late James Conner and Raheem Mostert will go. I was also tempted to take James Conner way back over here when I took Kyler. Didn't think he'd necessarily fall to me, but there's a chance Trey Benson might.
I got lots of love for my crew that is.
I mean, look at that. After I take Deontay, like I said, the end of a tier, 4 wideouts have gone since my last pick. Trey Benson goes, Brock Bowers goes, 2 guys that I love taking anywhere close to pick 100. All right, what's it gonna be? 108, 109.
Soldier boy, tell.
I don't know. Both of them had a week 14 bye, which doesn't fare well exactly with taking so many Texans. Gonna need some Ravens on the bring back later, so same story. I don't know. Had to do it. I can keep pushing running backs. Thought about taking Corum a little bit early. Next pick is 132, 133. I think there's a slim chance that running backs kind of fall back into that spot. And I'll probably kind of keep alternating running back, wide receiver until I get towards the end of the draft. I'm going to wait a while to take a tight end that makes sense. Probably, most certainly done at QB. Gonna stop with 2. And then save a few wide out and running back options to continue to game stack off my quarterbacks for week 17, kind of later in the draft. So looking for Ravens, Texans, and let's see if we can get lucky with some Cardinals players. The Rams players are almost gone. That's why I was considering taking Corum there. After Corum goes, it's pretty much it for trying to get Rams that really have a lot of upside. With the Cardinals, you can still get Michael Wilson if you like Michael Wilson, or Zay Jones. Greg Dortch, super late. Doesn't feel as good though. Corum goes 115. He's been rising a lot, going up. And he goes before Brian Robinson Jr. here, who I almost took over Javonte. I'm not crazy about the Javonte pick. I don't think the Broncos are going to score a lot of touchdowns. We'll see, though. I'd like to be pleasantly surprised. What up, Meewad? Hope you're having a great Sunday night, my man. Thanks for kicking it in the chat. Let me show you this team meet. A little bit different. 2-2-5-1 build through 10 rounds. Taking out of the 12 spot. Started. Yeah, Corum over B-Rob, says Meewad, is crazy. Definitely jumping the shark. I would think so a little bit, right? But Corum's getting steamed up right now. I thought about taking him. It was just maybe he would have fallen to me. Started off with the super standard wide receiver in. Puka Nacua and Marvin Harrison Jr. Followed that up with Diggs and Laporta. So I got a nice value on Diggs, who's been falling a little bit, but also get Laporta at a little bit of a value. Next picks, I went Stroud. So I committed to the Texans. I could have taken Dell where I took Laporta, but I wanted to keep my options open, and I wanted to guarantee I get an elite tight end, a real elite one, not just like a middle tier tight end. And also took Mixon, committing to the Texans, came back around, went Kyler Murray with Deontay Johnson. In my last two picks, Javonte Williams, I'm not crazy about. Adonai Mitchell, who's probably one of my favorite rookie wide receivers to draft. Been drafting him all summer long, tons of them. Get him while you can. Above pick 100? Yep. Adonai Mitchell, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I guess it's landing spot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was going just after the Brian Thomas range. Like, why doesn't he go up here by Christian Watson? Look where Keon Coleman goes. Okay, Jared Goff's off the board. I don't need that third QB, but if sometimes the pocket passers fall really, really far, and could have been a chance. The only probable chance that I would go 3 QBs here would be a Matt Stafford or Jared Goff fell super late. Yeah, Meatwad says A.D. Mitchell feels like he pairs so well with Ant. Yeah, I think he could. If Anthony Richardson can extend plays, which I think he can, if he's looking downfield, throwing deep, that's what Mitchell excels at. Getting open deep down the field. He's fast, huge vertical, makes like leaping catches. I think Eckler's a smart pick here, but then I've got a bye week issue, which could be okay. I'm looking wide receiver and running back. That's the way I'm going to play. I think Eckler or I go Charbonnet. Just take Eckler here. Maybe go Charbonnet here. Legette's kind of cool, but I've already got Deontay, so it's my bet there. Don't need a Gabe Davis. Could go Polk, another bye week 14 issue. Schultz is still there. Just do it. Just get Schultz. Now I'm done at tight end. Feels good. Didn't want to have to force Charbonnet or Polk on this team. I think Eckler and Charbonnet have a similar upside, actually. We'll see if Eckler can bounce back. Healthy season. Do something on a new team. Charbonnet, I think, could get more and more opportunities. But I'm also pretty in. It's hard to say because I'm in on Charbonnet and Ken Walker. So I guess I'm just in on the Seahawks doing a lot better than they did last season. It's kind of a letdown last season after a good year 2 years ago with Geno's reemergence, comeback player status. Definitely got a bye week 14 issue. Got to sort that out a little bit at RB. Got to draft at least 2 more RBs without that bye week 14 just to feel good about starting a roster every week. And then good at tight end, good at QB. Wide receiver, only 2 players on bye week 14, so I'm actually decent there right now, which is nice. Cool. And if Jalen Polk comes back, I mean, I gotta take him. What's my next pick? It's he's not gonna come back. It's 155, 157. Look at this run on running backs that goes Chubb, Ford, Dowdle. I keep seeing Chubb and Ford go back to back in drafts, which means Zeke was way up here, 127. A little bit rich. It's fine. Kendre goes. Charbonnet. Look, it's interesting that Kendre is going ahead of Charbonnet. That's an interesting one. Not sure who I prefer there. Probably Charbonnet. But I think I prefer both of them over Marshawn Lloyd. Just depends. Lloyd's probably in a better offense overall, so depends on the fit. I mean, we're in round 12. This is right on the borderline of when you just start to take your guys, look for that correlation. Don't worry about ADP too much after pick, 100. So 140 is when you can start to reach a little bit for the right players. Especially I'm on the corner. You can get value that will fall to you, like the way that I got. I would say Stroud fell a little bit. Definitely Deontay. Got some value on Diggs. That was the big one I was looking for. Diggs at a value, although he's been kind of falling in ADP. Still a bunch of picks away. Yeah, there goes Polk. Great pick there. Let's see what Andrew's done in the last few picks. He, after going with his first running back, Samir White, he's tacked on Brian Robinson Jr., nice, and Ty Chandler, good picks. He grabbed Tua to go with his Jalen Waddle. So after going Lamar Jackson, he waited and got Tua. I like that pairing a lot. He gets Jerry Jeudy, great pick at value, scoops him up. Week 17, bring back, it's the Cleveland Browns, Miami Dolphins. So he's locked that one down. Let's look at Shop's team. Grabs Benson, good pick. Dallas Goedert, did he get? I didn't think he got Anthony Richardson. He goes Goddard, interesting one there. But grabs Josh Downs, it's a good pick. I took Adonai Mitchell, so I feel bad. Took one of his pass catchers, but there's still a few left. I honestly don't mind going Jelani Woods late. I'm almost on the clock. And who else did he take? He took Marshawn Lloyd, a player that I do like, and then Jalen Wright. So 2 good running backs back to back. Yeah, I like his squad so far. Definitely like his running backs. Started with more of a 0 RB approach. I'm pretty thin at running back on this team. Need to build it out. 2-3-5-2.
Soldier boy, tell.
Grab Bateman. Gonna do it. I like Devontae Walker a lot though too, which makes me feel bad because then if I get Bateman, you can't always afford to get Walker later. So I sometimes skip on Bateman just to get Walker. Definitely need a running back here, I would say. So let me turn my attention there. I don't know. I'm not crazy about Ray Davis. He's fine, though. Running back out of Kentucky. Seems fine. I think Ray Davis is in line for more touches than Kamani Vidal, who I have too much exposure to already. I've got in the high teens exposure to Vidal. Bucky Irving's a guy I got a lot of exposure to, which probably looking back could have been another good pick here because I've already got the Deontay Johnson selection. So playing into that Week 17, Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Bucks. And I almost took Xavier Legette way back. Where I ended up taking Dalton Schultz. And Xavier Legette fell all the way to pick 143. So someone got a good value there. Just an upside rookie pick. I mean, when you're pairing Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas, then you got Legette and Pearsall. I don't know if that's overkill. I've gone pretty hard on rookies like that. I mean, look at this trio of running backs he started off with, and an elite tight end, CeeDee Lamb. Kind of an anchor wide receiver approach, you could call it. And he comes in these middle rounds, and he's been consistently taking rookie ceiling picks at wide receiver. So pretty good by Zach Jackson here, 2-spot. Interesting way to build it out. But anytime you have CD and you don't have Dak, it always feels a little bit off. In fact, he doesn't have a QB through 14 rounds, so his team is pretty much up against the ropes. Andrew goes Vidal with his pick in round 14. It's a good pick. Almost took him. Bucky Irving also already went. I wasn't really tempted to take Stafford at pick 157, but if he's still there at pick 180, then that could have made sense. Andrew, yo, what up? Hell yeah, man. I know you're always out here in these streets. I see you match up in my drafts all the time. Sometimes I'll check to see if you're streaming too. Yeah, I've been following your team along. I like it so far. Definitely a 0 wide receiver build. Took that first running back with Samir. Just making it look easy. I think me and you are in a similar boat though. 4 running backs through 14 rounds is a little bit thin. I'll probably end up going to 6 on this build. Could definitely happen. I'm going to stop with 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends. Good stuff, Andrew. Yeah, I catch Andrew live all the time. He'll go live on the Fanspeak Network. They put out a lot of great content. Same thing with he'll go live on SGPN Fantasy, and I'll catch some of their live stuff there. Bruni as well. Guys who are definitely in these streets. Underdog cardio clubs, you name it. Man, I kind of regret the Bateman selection. I'm trying to think. If I didn't take Bateman there, look at the receivers who've gone since I took them, and they're not much better. There's not really any amazing wideout selections around 14, around 15. Even around 13 is a little thin. You have the rookie upside though, which I just missed out on. Yeah, man. I love catching your streams when you're live. Definitely out here drafting, getting the numbers up. Almost my turn to make my pick at 180, 181. I'm at 4 and 6, and I'm probably going to end up with 6 and 8. So I'm just going to keep taking 1-2, 1-2 running backs and wide receivers. This is where I need to look back for those Cardinals. On the clock. I think this is the Michael Wilson pick. He made it all the way back. I was pretty excited about that. All right, Michael Wilson. I need a running back. Is it too early? Next pick's going to be 204, 205. This is my last pick before the 200s. guess I do take a good amount of Elijah Mitchell. I feel like he could always take a little bit more of a increased workload. It's just a running back in a backfield that scores a lot of points, team that scores a lot of points, offense scores a lot of points. Also gives me a little mini against Sam Laporta. So as a running back 5, you can do worse than Elijah Mitchell. Take him a little bit early there, but I think he fits this team well. Flip back to the board. 2 picks left. This is, I don't know if this has been going fast or slow. We'll see how it finishes out. Drake May goes pretty early, but you could have seen it coming. Any team that's going to take Hunter Henry and Javon Baker, and I'm guessing he had 1 QB. It was Hurts. AJ Brown, Hurts, a bunch of running backs. Does get Rico though. No Chargers, but I mean, interesting squad. Definitely taking 5 running backs in the mid rounds, 6 to 10 is a little bit aggressive. A high team move, and then still taking another one. He had 7 running backs. No, he started off with wide receivers, so it makes sense in this build. He kind of finished running back early, left himself taking a QB late. The issue I have with Drake May pairing up with Jalen Hurts, I was talking about this recently. I don't think Drake May, JJ McCarthy are great picks to go with Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts has that week 5 or 6 bye. Week 5 bye, the earliest bye week, and you're going to pair him up with a rookie QB who, in the case of Drake May, I mean, Jacoby Brissett has been getting the early camp buzz about being a QB1, so it's just a risky proposition for taking a 0 in week 5. Might not matter over the course of the first 14 weeks for advancing. If you can get out of your pod, maybe taking a 0 at QB in week 5 isn't that big of a deal, but if you're consistently making that mistake or taking that same kind of path with your Jalen Hurts, going super late but taking a QB who might not be starting earlier in the season when he has a bye, if you're doing that a lot of times, you could have I would think you'd have some issues with the way you're structuring your teams that could lead you to have bad advance rates by taking a lot of 0s during the bye weeks. But, you know, another way to play it is to take 3 quarterbacks. At that point, you just have to hope you gotten lucky and didn't need to allocate those resources elsewhere, like running back, which I think maybe he could make that work by taking all those running backs in the middle rounds, starting really strong at wide receiver. Did he get an elite tight end? No, so he misses out on elite tight end. Hunter Henry's a fine late tight end pick. I would almost suggest, though, he goes to tight end even from this point. Let's see. He's a 2-6-7-1 build. I would like to see that be. If he goes 3 QB, which maybe that works out. I don't know. With Knicks? No. I don't know who it would take. It would be Carr, but I think Carr's gone. No, Carr's still there. Bryce Young and Carr can really fall on teams. Interesting though, I could go Bryce Young with Jalen McMillan. That'd be a really fun way to end it. And dreams are crushed. Jalen McMillions goes pick 200. Too good to be true. There goes the Bryce Young dream. I don't think I want a third QB on this squad, though. Like I said, 2 really strong QB options early. I do, but I don't want Keaton Mitchell. On week 14, I'm going to have these two guys starting for me. That feels pretty weak. I've only got 7. I've got 3 wide receivers on bye week 7. Week 14. I think I'm going to take 1 running back and 1 wide receiver. Damn. It doesn't really line up great to go Keaton Mitchell. But now do I take Keaton Mitchell? No. Maybe Zay Jones. Is that overkill? What else would make sense? I think it's a fine pick. Cool. Here's the squad. Ends up being a 2-6-8-2 build. Stroud, Murray. Pretty good up top for the QB room. Followed up with Mixon, Javonte Williams, Austin Eckler, Ray Davis. Sketchy through 4 picks. A little bit sketchy on the RBs. That's how I like to play it. You got to risk it in the RB position. If your RB is your strongest group, that could be good, but typically I like my RBs to be a risky bet. So Ray Davis gives me some upside, but could be a really low floor. James Cook, I think, is underrated still. Want to get more James Cook. I had a ton of James Cook last season. Elijah Mitchell could be a decent pick here, but see what I'm talking about? Week 14 bye. I'm going to need to get 2 starting scores out of Ray Davis, Elijah Mitchell, and Clyde. I have a pretty low confidence I'm going to have to put up a good running back score that week. So that's the problem with starting running back late and then taking your first 3 all in the same bye makes it a tough week. Wideouts: Puka, bring back. Marvin Harrison, stacked. Diggs, stacked. Deontay, at a value. Adonai Mitchell, love him. Rashad Bateman, bring back. Kind of regret. Maybe should have gone Tez Walker. Michael Wilson and Zay Jones stacked. So I'm going hard on the Cardinals, which is fun. Sam Laporta, Dalton Schultz, pretty solid at tight end, I would say. Nice squad. Let's see what, what up, Dale? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a great Sunday. Thanks for joining the chat, saying what's up. Just finished this first Best Ball Mania 5. Just reviewed the squad. I think it was pretty decent. Very correlated. And a fun one from the 12 spot. We got Andrew in the room. We'll check out his draft in just a second, how it wrapped up. Here go the last picks. Derek Carr, Bryce Young going either undrafted or super late, pretty commonly now. BBM 47. Hope you're having a great Sunday, Dale. Thanks for saying what's up. Let's do it this way. Touchdown King 23. Dale, were you in this room? No way. Right there, DWB. Is that Dale? Let's look real quick. If that is, we'll do a quick review on his. I love the Brees Nico start. DK, Christian Kirk, solid. Dalton Kincaid, get your elite tight end. I like it. Rome Odunze, solid. Najee, yes. At that point in the draft, why not? Dak, interesting. Not sure how that makes sense yet, but maybe got a little bit of value on Dak. Singletary, a fun pick. Dale, is that you, Dale? Trevor Lawrence, yeah. Christian Kirk, yeah. I like that, but how'd you end it with Brandon Cooks? Yes, now it makes sense on Dak. Kendre Miller, good pick. Musgrave, I think, is a decent tight end. Irving, a good pick. Herbert, a solid one. Demarcus Robinson, Jalen McMillan, nice. And then Tank Bixby. Dale, if that's your squad, I don't have any issues with that. I think that's a perfectly good squad. Let's review Andrews real quick. He was saying what's up in the chat earlier. Let's review his team. Lamar Jackson, Tua. That's a good QB room. Goes super late on running backs because a 2-7-7-2 build. Gets Samir White, Brian Robinson, Ty Chandler, Kamani Vidal. But then he gets Chuba, Damian Pierce, Roshan. So definitely has some opportunities across those 7 picks. A lot of RB2s that could take over a role. I like it. I like the upside. If you're going to do like a scatter shot of running backs, go for a lot of the undervalued, later picked RB2s. Solid. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Peace. Catch you next time. For sure, man. Yeah, I'll be tuning in. Catch you on FanSpeak soon. Yeah, y'all make sure, if you're not already, definitely follow my man Andrew on Twitter. And he's ARob23 on Twitter. And you'll see what he's got going on. Putting out a lot of good content on SGPN and also FanSpeak Network. Live streaming best ball as well. His team here, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith. So the Smith ties in nicely, I think, on this squad. I like those. I think it was Felix earlier was saying this is the draft class of 2021. Represent Calvin Ridley, JSN, just going hard first 5 picks on wideouts. Yeah, Dale says he's drafted number 8, which means he is DWB 18568. Yo, what up, Dale? I'll be looking out for that name now. I'll try to remember that. DWB. Makes sense. Dale Bacchus. Catch you in there. Jalen Tolbert, Jerry Jeudy, good picks. Awesome. I think it's an awesome wide receiver room, just like I like to build them. Mark Andrews, Brock Bowers. Oh, I love that. The elite tight end with the elite upside rookie tight end. That's been a favorite of mine. I've been pairing Bowers up with a lot of the elite tight ends. It's fun to do. Let my dog out of the room real quick. She's scratching. What up, what up, what up? What up? Had to let the dog out of the room. Typical. So yeah, overall good squad. I love doing that. Mark Andrews, Brock Bowers, fun. Cool, cool. Draft number 8 for Dale. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Let me go ahead and look at your team in this view. Also, we had Shop in the draft. Not sure if he was showing in the draft. He didn't say what's up in the chat, but I'm pretty sure this is who I think it is. Follow him on Twitter. He ends up going with AR-15 Russell Wilson. That's a pretty crazy build at quarterback, but a lot of upside. Interesting tight end room as well. Could be good, though. I like the way he was building it in the start. Let's throw up Dale's team. Represent the badge, bros. Got the badge, got the headband. Love to see it. 2-7-7-2 build like we saw. Dak, Trevor Lawrence. So we reviewed this one. Breece Hall. I like a Breece Hall, Nico Collins start. This is a good start. The back end, you get your guys. Jalen McMillan, a lot of upside. Ramadunze, a ton of upside. These wide receivers are sick. The tight end room is elite with 2 sophomores that I like. The running back room, pretty deep. I like it. Leveraging Tank Bixby with Trevor Lawrence could be a good combo, and then late in the season, who knows? And then Dak Prescott. So 2 pocket passers. Let's check out. I'm gonna see what the weight is for a Dalmatian. Waiting for one person. Okay, I'm drafting a Dalmatian. Heads up. Yeah, I did stream Friday. Went on for quite a bit. It was a fun one. I was gone for the week, so getting back behind the computer, drafting up some best ball Mania squads. I think I tried to fill a Dalmatian like every day for like the last 4 days. Haven't been able to fill one. Waiting on one person now for a Dalmatian. Gonna do a Dalmatian live on stream if this fills. If not, if it doesn't fill, then I'll jump back into BBM 5. Definitely doing another draft, so thanks for sticking around in the chat. Say what's up if you're here. Make sure you're subbed so you can catch me going live. Don't have a schedule, I just go live when I can. Try to stream a few times a week, put up some hours, show off some drafts, chill with you all in the chat. So you can sub, get alerts when I go live. You can draft with me or against me. Dale's been drafting with me for the last week or two. Also got some other of the boys in here. Andrew, Felix, Meat. Tyler was here earlier. Good stuff. Waiting on one. Let me... I'm going to refill my water and throw it back to outer space real quick. Be back in literally 10 seconds. Waiting on 2 people. No, we're going the wrong direction. If this doesn't fill by the time I get back with my new glass of water, I'm going to jump ship and get into a BBM. So fingers crossed. Be back real quick. What up? Waiting on one person. I can wait for one. One is not bad. If it's 2 or 3, probably going to jump ship. But in the meantime, let's pull open. Something to share. I was kicking off the beginning of the stream with this, but yeah, I went over this at the beginning of the stream. I'm advancing 3 out of my 4 Albatross teams from the semifinals to the finals. This is PGA season-long best ball, majors only, Albatross. 500,000 in prizes, 50 grand up top, 310 person final. I've got 3 bullets, so I make up 1/100th of the teams in the final. Shout out to Brian in the Pounders Discord. Only person I've seen so far who has more bullets than me. He's got 4, but he advanced 4 out of 7, I think, and I advanced 3 out of 4. So 75% advance rate, 75%. Bryson DeChambeau, the People's Champ, the U.S. Open, 2-time champion, winner today. So these squads, I got 3 squads. Are going to move on to the final round, which is at the Open at Royal Troon about a month from now. Yeah, I'm pretty psyched. So I got 3 squads. Boom. This one led off with Bryson. Bunch of other good guys on here. I reviewed these teams earlier, but thought I'd throw them up again because I'm so stoked on it. Another team, I'm carrying John Rahm into the finals. I'm going to be excited to see once Underdog processes this round, how many teams made it to the finals with John Rahm as their first pick, although he withdrew from the U.S. Open. So he sunk a lot of teams. I snuck him through. If I had to guess, his regular ownership expected in the finals out of 300 teams, he goes 100% drafted. He's the first or second overall player taken in these formats. Let's check on that real quick. Still waiting on one person for a Dalmatian draft. I'm gonna tweet that out if I can, and then maybe someone will see it and join. but still waiting on one. Anyways, this John Rahm squad, I'm really stoked on it. Pretty good overall. So if John Rahm, if he was a big letdown and only advanced, what would be the expected number of teams who would advance at a neutral number? I'm trying to think. It's probably like, how many teams would have him in the final? You would expect if he didn't withdraw from the last round, it'd probably be like a lot. It would be like maybe even 20%, 25%. So I'm going to think that John Rahm ownership in the finals is going to be around 10 or 15%, which would be, if it's 10%, it's like 30 teams. And if he ends up winning, it'll be, if John Rahm wins the Open, the teams that have him are most likely going to finish really high. Top 50 almost for sure, as long as you have players that are still alive. I don't think there's any. I'm going to review these teams later in the week. Just from this quick view, I don't think there's any players that are at risk of missing the US Open on this squad. I think they're all qualified and all should be there, so that's exciting. Hopefully no dead roster spots in the last week in this last squad. My highest scoring one, I don't have any Scheffler teams that made it through. Scheffler was going to be a kind of a low-owned guy, kind of like my John Rahm. If you got Scheffler in the final, you're probably happy about that. But I got a lot of Bryson, a lot of Colin. This one has Hideki super late. That's going to be good. Still waiting on one person for the Dalmatian draft. What do we do here? Dale says he almost took Stroud, but he wanted Kincaid more. Yeah, helped me out for sure. I'm tempted to stick around in this room for a little bit longer, see if we can fill the Dalmatian. I've been trying to fill it for like 4 nights straight. And I usually give it like 20-30 minutes and then I just bail. So let's see. One person? Man, it's not going to fill, is it? What are the odds? Still waiting to fill this draft. Give it like another minute. Depressing. Can't fill the Dalmatians. Oh, it's filled. Let's go. I'm gonna tweet this one out. At the 3 spot. Nice. I can work with that. Oh, Brian's in this one. Shout out to Brian. I had to hit him up on Discord right now. He's the only guy I've seen so far that has more bullets in the Albatross finals than me. He's got 4, but he advanced 4 out of 7 or 8. Still pretty good, but not 75% good. Just wish I had more. I drafted more. Let me hit up Brian. Brian's always in these high stakes rooms. He was doing big scrambles with me. He's always down for these $100 drafts. Man's wild. I'll have to add him on Discord. The draft has started. I'm on the clock. going to go with CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb's a player I'm underexposed to so far, so I'm happy to take him there at 3. Looking through the room, we know Brian's there. Rain Man hats. Sounds kind of familiar. So does Bodie. As you'd expect, generally a badged up room drafting these medium higher stakes $101 Dalmatian draft. I'm just excited to get it fired off. Yeah, thanks for the luck, Dale. Thanks for chilling in the chat, man. Appreciate you being here. Drafting with me. These squads all summer long here. Fantasy Football Garage, kicking it, drafting. The best ball streets, hot best ball summer underway. You already know what time it is. Brian gets Amon-Ra. Okay. Meatwad says he thinks he recognizes Trilly. I think so too. I think I've seen a lot of these names. Pretty standard stuff. Not too surprised to see Tyreek Hill go at 2. The ADPs are going to be slightly different in this one because if I show you, let's kick it over here to the rules and for this format. $101 entry, 2,760 total entrants. It's currently almost 2/3 full. This is my first Dalmatian. I have been trying to get into it for like 4 days. Has trouble filling. The advanced structure, 1/3 of the teams advance in the first pod. Out of the first pod. Then you go one out of 5 and 1 out of 8. The 1 out of 8 is pretty daunting. It's a 23-seat final, which is, I think, very small, but also good. $1,000 if you make it to the final. That's pretty hard to do, though. That times 8 is about 100, and there it is, 184. You get $150 if you make the semis, which kind of sucks. But I guess it's decently easy to make the semis. 1/3 of the teams, and then 1/5 of those. So one out of 15 shot to make it to the semis. Still though, having to only beat 1 out of 5 teams in the quarterfinals, pretty small pod. That's decently easy. It's the 1 out of 8. It's not impossibly hard. It's easier than a lot of these other tournaments we're in. But yeah, tiny final. So really, it's more about just getting the team that can put up the most points in week 17 if you get there. Take Waddle.
Soldier boy, tell.
It's gonna piss off the guy who took Hill before me. I bet he was. Let's see, maybe he wasn't. We'll never know actually, but potentially he was setting it up to get Waddle there. Takes Cooper Kupp. Like I said, Cooper Kupp's been rising in this format. People aren't afraid to get their guys. He takes Cooper Kupp with not his 3rd pick at 26, with his 2nd round pick at 23. Pretty aggressive. Achane goes. Achane, CMC, Mike Evans. A little bit chalky these days. A little bit. I'm on the clock. Dang. Smith goes right before me. I would have taken Smith, obviously. Neighbors, though. Let's do it. I like how this looks. This is a fire start. CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors for my Dalmatian. Couldn't be happier. Michael Pittman goes pretty early. Another team that's got 3 wide receivers through the first 3 picks. Guy drafting in the 5 spot goes Jet, Debo, Pittman. I feel like Jet, Debo is also a very common start. Derrick Henry and the Bijan team. That's pretty intimidating. It's a high testosterone team. Let's see if he pulls it off. If he can climb his way out from the hole he's digging at wide receiver. Only having Chris Olave, who I do like, through 3 rounds, it's riskier because a lot of these squads at the back end of the draft, the guy in the 9, 10, 11 spot, they started out wide receiver. They're probably going to keep that train rolling, so just shot out another tweet telling everyone I'm drafting Dalmatian live now. Come check it out. Thanks for being here, everyone. Hope you're having a great Sunday night. Fantastic weekend. Amazing Father's Day. Shout out to the dads out there. Shout out to me. I'm a dad. My little girl's almost 2. It's an amazing time. We chilled, kicked it at the pool all day, hung out with the dog. Pretty amazing Sunday. Watching some golf. And I'm on cloud 9, just drafting, watching golf, advancing Albatross teams to the finals, kicking it with y'all here live in the Fantasy Football Garage. Thanks for tuning in, for catching these vibes, drafting with me. And yeah, we're getting up there on these Best Ball Mania 5s. We're almost at a third of our drafts, almost to 50. And then this is my first Dalmatian, so I'm willing to do some of these mid to higher stakes tournaments. I'm not going crazy over these pugs at the moment. Some of these ones that are closing faster, 20, 25 maxes. I'm not going insane on those. I tried to max the poodle, did go hard on the poodle. I think I only got 11 off because I didn't want to commit to doing a bunch of slows. Yeah, shout out Meatwad. Happy Father's Day. Meatwad said he'd be happy to get Cup. If Cup gets steamed up, we'll make the guys I like to take in that range cheaper. Yeah, why not? Definitely. And I've already got a good amount of Cup at the back of the 3rd round, so now that he's up at the beginning of the 3rd round, just makes me feel good about that, like Meatwad's saying. Meatwad says going double elite with Derrick Henry has to be the most high team move. 100% agree. It's an aggressive one. $101 draft. It's an aggressive move. Trying to strike fear into the rest of the pod to draft Bijan and Derrick Henry. Can he, like I said, land it, get the wide receivers he needs? It's going to be tough. I mean, imagine if you went Bijan, Nico Collins, Derrick Henry. That would be a little bit more intriguing to me. Olave's good. Just not like the biggest, splashiest, high, weak finishing guy, like the type of receiver. He's more of like a consistent floor type of receiver. And I don't know if it gets much better with Derek Carr. Spencer Rattler's there, right? So very low odds that he gets any snaps. I kind of thought if he landed somewhere different, Spencer would take over the QB role, but I don't see him doing that in New Orleans. Pretty sure that's where he landed. Yeah, definitely. Wow, Zay Flowers going at 43. Nice grab. Don't always see that. Travis Etienne is a great pick at 44. Mahomes is the first QB taken with Travis Kelce, so that makes a lot of sense that Trilly's doing that there. It looks interesting, though, when you see Mahomes going ahead of Josh Allen. I do have to say, my pick, I could go Jalen Hurts, which is pretty fun. I think I will. Just really sucks I didn't get Devonta Smith, though, but I can make it work. Also, Amari Cooper, Terry are fun picks. Mark Andrews, Kincaid on the way back, or Xavier, still a fun pick. Let's go ahead and take, Jalen Hurts. And I'm not too afraid to take Jalen Hurts naked if that's what it comes down to. because in this format, the final room is going to be, 21 teams? 23 seat final. So if I make it there with Jalen Hurts, what are the odds there's other Jalen Hurts teams? I mean, there probably would be. Maybe like 30-40% of the teams. If Jalen Hurts is the guy you need, then and he's there, gets you through. CeeDee Lamb's a nice pairing, though. I will say that. I'm not going to grab a tight end here. Doesn't make sense. Not going to grab a running back here. It would be James Cook, I think, if I wanted one. I'm going to go with Amari Cooper. I drafted Amari Cooper last year. He was a wide receiver, I want to say 4 on my team. They placed 7th overall in the Poodle. It was a really, really good squad that had CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, and then Amari Cooper as my wide receiver 4. So I get him as my wide receiver 4 again on this squad. Starting off strong at the wide receiver position is how I like to play it. Venture out there, grab an elite quarterback. It's a fun move. And it's cool drafting from the 3 spot. I get to chill for a bit. Let's check in on Brian's team. Let me check in with Brian on Discord too, while I'm at it. I don't know what's going on right now with the currently drafting thread in the Founders Discord. It's always wild. Brian's not in there right now. Someone else was trying to get his attention too. Gamblestein. Pat was drafting at Dalmatian earlier today. I caught some of his stream. Some good stuff with Nick. I thought, yeah, Nick was on there too. Get a little bit nervous when George Kittle goes. I don't love Kyle Pitts though, so the fact that I missed out on what we'll call the top tier elite tight ends is fine with me. There's a chance I can do something really fun here with pick 70-75. I don't want to give it away though. Rome Odunze goes. That's a bummer. I definitely would like to get Rome in the 6th round. Joe Mixon I like in the 6th round. I don't love Kyle Pitts though. I mean, I'm just not sold on him. Let's go to the next song. Felix thought this song was like sensual. I think it's a jam. It's kind of a vibing song. Lo-fi, some beats. Let me know what you think. Is this song too much? I can throw it off the list. I can throw it out of rotation. It's a bit of a longer one though, so it gives a nice breakup from the other songs. Feels a little spacey too. Pick 70. BT. BT Jr. Should we do it? Is this the squad to do it? these wide receivers, man. I'm going to be good for a while after this. That's why I'm thinking I might pivot here. Potentially could take a tight end soon. Either here with my next pick. A little bit riskier with my next 194, 99. The good thing is the two drafters in the turn already have Kincaid and Mark Andrews, so they're a lot less likely to go tight end if I push it and don't take one here at 75. You know what I'm saying? DeAndre Hopkins goes. Opens up the gates for me to go with Deontay Johnson goes. I've got the yellow light to take that player right here, that tight end. Alvin goes. I think we have the green light. Unless I want to take Rashee Rice. I don't have to make the bet on Rashee Rice on this team. Would be sick to have... I've already got 5 wideouts. To have a 6th, though, is a little bit much. Either got to go David Montgomery or push it further. I can take Evan Ingram. Push it further. Pushing running back. Further. Started off. First 7 picks. CeeDee Lamb in the 3 spot. Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors. That's a fire start. Jalen Hurts falls. In this format, the 23-seed final. Jalen Hurts, yes please. Amari Cooper, Brian Thomas, Evan Ingram. Slight bet on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Where's the ETN team? ETN team in the 5 spot. That's a threat. Hopkins team already has Lamar, so probably not the biggest threat. The Kirk team, though, is Christian Kirk team in the 8 spot. That's the guy I got to worry about. Doesn't have a QB yet. He could be looking to go with Purdy, though, or even Kirk Cousins to go with his Pitts. Yeah, Meatwatch says it's groovy, so take that, Felix. I think it's groovy too. And then some of these beats just go a little bit hard. So I don't know, it's no copyright music, so gotta find the right ones. Finding a good no copyright song is like finding a good pick in the 17th or 18th round that isn't a QB or isn't a tight end. Although the late tight ends have kind of sucked this year. Now that Juwan Johnson's hurt, I'm afraid to draft him right now. I think, though, he could be a value at pick 17 or in the 17th or 18th round on certain teams. So if I've got an allowance for an extra tight end spot, I could be looking to go Juwan Johnson. I haven't been pulling the trigger since the news on the foot injury. Kind of scares me off. Don't want to draft injured players. Don't want to take zeros at tight end, even though it's not the worst position to gamble on. I just feel like if you have a really solid squad built out, and then you kind of ruin it by taking a risk at tight end, it doesn't pay off. It could sink you. It could be the critical piece you needed to, just a floor piece, just a floor startable tight end 2, and then you get a guy who's injured out for the season, not playing snaps, could sink you. Bad for advancing out of your pod. Those are the things I think about, but I also like Juwan Johnson. What up, Pat? Saw you drafting
Soldier boy, tell.
Saw you drafting in Dalmatian earlier today. I've been trying to get in Dalmatian all week long. This is the first one I've gotten to fill. So we caught it on stream. Here we go. Thanks, my man. Hope you're having a great Sunday night. Great Father's Day. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for slapping the like. As always, appreciate you, man. Happy Father's Day to all of our fathers out there. It's been a good one. I had a great weekend. Touching some water, touching some grass, chilling at the pool, walking the dog, playing in the backyard. Basic stuff, watching golf. Pat, I haven't tweeted it out yet officially. I think I put it in the Pounders Discord in the golf section. I advanced 3 out of 4 Albatross. Boom. Hell yeah. 310 seat final. So I advanced 3 of those, got 3 bullets in that. And then Brian, who's actually in this draft too, I tried to add him in the Discord, get his attention. Brian's in here, as you know, always in these medium to high stakes size drafts, always down for one. He's got 4 teams advancing in the Albatross, which is pretty amazing. Haven't seen anyone with more than 4 yet, but I'll be looking at Twitter later tonight, probably tomorrow. We got about a month until the Open at Royal Troon, so plenty of time to do some research on the players I have, what the mix of teams looks like in this 310 seat final. It's gonna be really fun stuff. Coming up with pick 94, 99 up next. Brian takes Jordan Addison, David Montgomery, Jake Ferguson. See, get Jake Ferguson going there. Brock Bowers going kind of upsets me. Definitely the player I had my eye on. Now that Bowers is gone, I am happy that I do have Evan Ingram already. Definitely wanted Bowers. Trying to think, is there a better way to play this right now at running back? I'm gonna go Jalen Warren. If Tony Pollard's there on the bring back, on the way back in round 9, I'll be happy. Continue to build out that bet on Jacksonville Titans Week 17 matchup. I don't feel good about it though. 50-50 chance I can get Tony Pollard on the way back. If not, I got some other ideas. It's my last pick before 100. If I wait, I have to wait until pick 118, 120, 123. And I already kind of have some ideas about how I want to spin that pick. So far, I've got a 1-1-5-1 build. Jalen Hurts is my QB. Oh, nice. And Njoku goes. That helps me out a little bit. I've got Jalen Warren. Just took my first running back, so it's definitely a 0 running back build. Took my first running back in the 8th round. It's looking wild. Mostert goes. Okay, Mostert would have been a guy that I wouldn't have minded getting, but I was kind of thinking, yeah, the drafter who took Tyreek Hill with the 2nd pick is probably going to keep going with his Dolphins bet. And then, yeah, missing out on Devonta Smith in round 3 was a bummer. I get Malik Neighbors. I think it's still a great pick. A lot of upside. So I already know what I'm doing here. I'm going to push Dak back around. Let's see if that works out for me. Fingers crossed. I think it's like a very low percentage chance he makes it all the way back around. Taking Tony Pollard. RB2. 2 running backs back-to-back in what Tom would call the RB glory zone hole, but traditionally the RB dead zone. It's now the RB opportunity zone, according to Tom T-Strack in the Fantasy Sanctuary. I was watching his content earlier today. He was talking about RBs, where they go in drafts. Shout out to Tom. Just like that, Dak Prescott goes 102. Gotta risk it sometimes. I think Jay Daniels is a really fun pick. Really good pick in this area of the draft. Well, still a lot of rushing upside. It makes a lot of sense too that the team takes him who had Kyle Pitts. And that was the team I'm a little bit worried would take Trevor Lawrence because he's got Christian Kirk. But him getting Jaden Daniels makes me feel a little bit better there. Oh, and Trevor Lawrence goes. Makes me feel even better that I got Jalen Hurts. The fact that I've missed out on Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence now. Huge bummer. But I've already got an elite quarterback, so I'm not sweating it. Check out the next picks available. I don't love Dallas Goedert. I don't take him that often. I could push him to my 2nd pick because the guys at the 1 and 2 draft spots already have tight end. I doubt they would take uncorrelated Dallas Goedert, considering I have CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Hurts. My next picks are in the 120s. Dobbs would just be a value there. I love Adonai Mitchell. Palmer would be a value. Probably all those guys are gone. Slam Gabe Davis. Continue to make that bet on the Jaguars. Could be fun. And just like that, Romeo Dobbs, Palmer goes. Brian takes Wicks. Interesting. Continuing to rise. Spears is there. I mean, would it be a good move to go Spears and Pollard? Maybe. Oh, Spears is gone. And Goddard's gone. What are the odds? I was going to push Goddard to my pick 123 if I were to take him. Luckily, I've got Evan Ingram, so I don't really need him. Mitchell. That was stupid. I should have taken Tua there. If I wanted Tua, could have pushed Mitchell. I can go later though. Tua sometimes falls. I think he's still a good pick. Lining Tua up with Waddle, Amari Cooper would have been nice. The Tyreek Hill drafter, of course, is going to take Tua there. Stupid pick. I could go Will Levis later. Just don't have any of his pass catchers yet. Oh, and just kidding. Tennessee and Philadelphia obviously have the same bye. But, you know, it could be a weird 3 QB build with Jalen Hurts. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that. I think it's too early for Gabe Davis. I think if he's the right pick, he'll still be there on the way back. He could fall to me. The rare occasion that the Zeke team kind of makes sense. Maybe he's there on the way back, though. Could go Jerry Jeudy. Maybe he'll be there on the way back. Probably not. I mean, he's pretty much already at ADP. I'm going to go Austin Eckler. Knee-wad. Laugh my ass off. Tyler influence is undeniable. Yup. Yeah, exactly. No, I know what you're saying. You're talking about Tom's video on the Fantasy Sanctuary. For sure. It's hilarious. Nick Lawrence with Allen to double up Week 12 bye is fire. Meatwad, my man. Always keeping it real. Knows what's up. Yeah, look at that. Josh Allen with Cooks. Okay. Curtis Samuel. Okay. Trevor Lawrence. What? Completely. But then Gabe Davis is going to fall to him right there. Jerry Jeudy did go right after I took Eckler. I think I've still gotten enough wide receiver draft capital 6 to this point. Didn't need to push it and take a 7th there. So I miss out on Jerry Jeudy, Jerome Ford, Brandon Cooks, and Gabe Davis, Ezekiel Elliott, who all those picks in this round correlate with my team better than Austin Eckler. But at the same time, I waited a while to get running back. So Austin Eckler gives me, I think, a nice little RB3 piece. Relative to where he goes, I mean, who would you rather have? Chase Brown, Gus Edwards, Austin Eckler, Jerome Ford. You would think you'd want last year's first-round pick, Austin Eckler. Obviously, look at the stats. It tells you you'd want probably Gus Edwards or Jerome Ford. If you look at the opportunity for next season, maybe it's Chase Brown, maybe Gus Edwards. See if Eckler can do something on a new squad and with a Jaden Daniels-led offense. Deshaun is an option. Won't blame you for it, though, for passing it, though. Yeah, that's definitely, the door's still open for Deshaun Watson late. If I recall, his bye week is 10, so that could work out. Honestly, not a bad pick. Probably should have gone Jerry Jeudy earlier, or even Njoku. Well, would have been hard to get Njoku. Would have been nice to get Jerry Jeudy or Jerome Ford on his squad where I'm going to have Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's a pocket passer, suffered a lot of knee injuries, not going to be scrambling or rushing for touchdowns as much as he had in the past in his youth. So if you're going to take Deshaun Watson, you're going to want him with a lot of pass catchers. Let's see. Pick 147 coming up. Did not get Nick Chubb, unfortunately. He just goes. I would have liked to get Chubb at 147. I think it's a fine spot to take him on a team that I'm building out with a small bet on the Browns so far, small bet on the Dolphins. I did go ahead and grab Rico Dowdle. Whatever. Zeke had already gone. I'll take Dowdle 142 at ADP. It's fine. Quentin Johnson, thank you. I was considering it, but not what I want to do there. And then make another running back pick with Ty Chandler. I've now gotten to a spot in the draft. 5 RBs, 6 wide receivers. I can pretty much finish it out taking a tight end wherever the value falls to me, whatever lines up. I've got some ideas for my next QB. I'm starting to build out some other options late in the draft, giving myself the opportunity with a team like this where I've got Neighbors and the bring back of Mitchell. I love to get Adonai Mitchell. Something I forgot to mention earlier when I took Adonai over Tua is that I did really want to push the pocket passing quarterbacks to get really good value on them in this draft because I had Jalen Hurts, already have an elite quarterback, so didn't feel crazy about taking Tua at 118. Knew the Tyreek Hill drafter would probably take him at 119 or 122. But before I had another chance to draft. But I also knew it'd be nice to have a Indianapolis Colts, New York Giants game stack week 17. Gives me an out for a quarterback later in the draft. Obviously, there's still a quarterback that I could take with my next pick who might be there. Otherwise, I'm looking pretty late in the draft for New York Giants, Danny Dimes. I don't think I'm gonna go Levis because of the bye weeks issues with Hurts, and I don't think I would necessarily need or want 3 quarterbacks. Also, don't have any Titans pass catchers at this point. I just got Tony Pollard. Ty Chandler's a pretty weak correlation with JJ McCarthy, so I'm not expecting to go down that route. Throw up the last couple rounds. A few rounds.
I got lots of love for my crew that is. You know.
Shout out to Turbotron. Give me some retweets on x.com, twitter.com. Turbotron holding it down. And yeah, thanks y'all for being in the stream, for kicking it tonight, for chilling here, drafting with me, catching these vibes, jamming to some lo-fi hip-hop beats. You already know what time it is.
Soldier boy, tell.
Dude, dagger in the heart. Come on now. The Jerry Judy team backstabs me. Son of a... kind of wanted to get tight end over with. I've been seeing Sinnott going higher and higher. I think he still has a chance to rise up. If there's some more camp buzz around him, if he starts to look really good. Although now I've kind of opened the door up for this to be, well, I don't know. I'm gonna commit. This is still a 2 tight end build. I would hate to take some low scores at tight end, but I think Evan Ingram can hold it down. I'm gonna stay confident in Evan Ingram. Ben Sinnott, just a flyer. Rookie upside. And of course Wandell goes. That's what I was thinking at the last second. Should have taken Wandell there. Could have pushed Sinnott because these guys already have 2 tight ends each. So complete waste of a pick taking Sinnott there. Maybe I don't need Wandell though. I've already got Neighbors. Bucky could be nice on this team. Then I've got 6 running backs. Don't really give myself any options to take anyone later. Could be a team where I go Shipley super late. Probably not. I didn't think it was the right spot to build out anything around Baker Mayfield since I don't have any of his players yet. I mean, I could have gone Baker, Cade Otton with my last 2 picks. Didn't feel right. I mean, I would have been able to potentially get Jalen McMillan later, which would be sweet. But there aren't really any Panthers left that I've got a lot riding on. It would just be a late Chuba Hubbard, who might not even be there. Yeah, Chuba's already gone, so. Starting to get late in the game. I take a Marvin Mims Jr., give myself one more out. I do have a little bit higher faith in Bo Nix's ability to start in week 5 when Jalen Hurts has a bye. more confident than like Drake May or JJ McCarthy, who do have some quarterback competition. I view the Bo Nix QB competition as pretty weak from Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham. So might be going that direction. Franklin's still there. He might come back as well. The problem though is I don't have to take a Bengals player. I don't draft Mike Gesicki, so I probably still would not take him. Yoshivas is kind of a borderline undrafted player, so not really getting excited about that. Not a Bryce Young team. You know, I was thinking, okay, I've gotten Austin Eckler on the Commanders. Maybe take Ben Sinnott. Probably should have pushed him. Could have gone Wan'Dale. Wan'Dale's a much stronger pick to me than Marvin Mims. Who knows? I mean, yeah, should have been Wan'Dale. That, and then maybe I should have pushed the Ben Sinnott pick, taken a Theo Johnson later. Kind of a similar bet, just a lot. It's like a rookie tight end arbitrage. Take a Theo Johnson late over a Ben Sinnott early. Take the one that has less hype right now, but probably just as good a chance to start, realistically. At least close. Probably similar upside. Up in a few picks. Pick 190. Forgot to show the board there for a sec. McMillian goes off. Braylon Allen goes off. Tyler Boyd has already gone as well. That was going to be one of my connects for my Jaguars Titans bet. So does Chico Okonkwo goes. All right, a lot of players I probably should have drafted over Mims. I see how this is going. Tez Walker is a sweet pick. I like taking Devontae Walker. He can fit on any team. What I'm going to do is, I know these guys already got 2 QBs. I'd be surprised since they went kind of more elite QB and elite tight end to start. If one of them took another tight end or another quarterback, I'd be kind of surprised. I like Devontae Walker a lot, so I'll take him on a squad like this just for upside, late pick. I queued up some players. I queued up 2 quarterbacks I should probably take in round 17 versus round 18. Don't push my luck. Let me know in the chat if you think I should take Bo Nix or Daniel Jones. Who's going to be there in week 5? Who's going to be there in week 17? Who do I want starting? I've got a better build around Daniel Jones, honestly, because I could come Tracy late if he's there on the way back. Super late, he probably won't be, but could be. Or Eric Gray. Also, he's going to have Slayton or Hyatt's going to be available. So I'm thinking I do that unless I just get completely sniped again. Luckily, the guy in the 1 spot has some mercy. He takes Darius Slayton, but he doesn't take Danny Dimes from me. 1 pick away, sweating out, 5 seconds left. Do I have to take Bo Nix? I hope I don't. Could be worse. Tank Bigsby. Daniel Jones team. Bo Nix might be there on the way back. Tyrone Tracy probably gets drafted. Could be there though. Could be something. I've got 5 running backs I feel good about. Somehow none of them have overlapping bye weeks, so I'm going to have 4 viable starters every week, potentially, who can hit my roster. At wide receiver, I've gotten 8 to this point. I feel pretty good about that, honestly. Could stop there. Do have 3 of them on a week 14 bye, so a little pause for concern. Four rookie wide receivers, a rookie tight end, a sophomore wideout. Don't have any rookies at QB or running back. Don't have any sophomores there either. So I think I could take an upside pick at running back if I'm going to go 6 RBs. I don't think I need another QB, honestly, so I'll probably chill there. And then tight end, we'll just see. Maybe if Theo Johnson's there, it could make a lot of sense. I could take Jawan Johnson. Just highlighting guys who I think would make sense on this team. One pick left for me on this Dalmatian draft. My first Dalmatian draft. Let's see how it goes. This will work. Yeah, after this draft, be wrapping it up, do a quick team review, and call it a Sunday night. Thanks for chilling in the chat. Thanks for being here, for saying what's up. Appreciate the support, appreciate the likes, appreciate the follows, the subs. Hit the alerts, turn on notifications if that's what you want to do. Catch me next time I go live. I'm going to be drafting all summer, kind of randomly, not a great schedule, but just whenever I can, find the time, get out here drafting these streets. Come draft with me, draft against me, say what's up. Appreciate you being here. I did just hit 50 subs the other day. I think I'm at 51 subs now, so it feels good. Building up the channel, putting in the work. It's fun. I like doing it, so I'm going to be out here drafting all summer, chilling with you guys. So I don't think Bo Nix is the play. I don't think running back's the play. It's Theo Johnson. It's Tolbert. Probably Tolbert. It's Tolbert. Let's go Tolbert. I was looking at it. I mean, Jalen Hyatt does stack up with my QB nicely, but I've got Malik Neighbors. I don't necessarily need a third tight end, although that would also be a nice stack with my QB. Who knows? Should I have gone Hyatt or Theo Johnson, stacked him up with Daniel Jones? Yeah, maybe I'm not making the world's biggest bet on Daniel Jones, though. I'm making a bigger bet on Jalen Hurts. Obviously, I don't have one of Jalen Hurts' pass catchers. Bummer, missed out on them. But it's a small 23-seat final in this Dalmatian format. So really, I'm more concerned about beating 22 other teams. You know, if they've got Jalen Hurts, you know, maybe you'd like to have him stacked up, but maybe CeeDee Lamb is the way to play Jalen Hurts, and maybe I'm the one who gets through with the CeeDee Lamb build. It's a little bit rarer getting Jalen Hurts to come back. put my dog in real quick. We'll review the team. All right, that's what's up. This Dalmatian draft, finished it up. 2-5-9-2 build. Not my favorite build. Anytime you go with a naked QB, it's not the most desirable outcome, but I think it can work here really well. Got CeeDee Lamb, so got a nice, a little bit different take on a Jalen Hurts build. Daniel Jones, I think is going to be healthy. I've already seen him passing and in practice, so built out around Daniel Jones and Malik Neighbors. Also have Adonai Mitchell for the bring back when you look across. Could have taken Hyatt, could have taken Theo Johnson, didn't do it. Dale says, what kind of dog? Oh, I have a black and white dog. She is a Springer Spaniel. She's real sweet. She's like 7 years old. She's chill. But she sleeps in a different room in the house like every other hour. So she's constantly moving between rooms throughout the night. Gotta keep all the doors cracked. Yeah, this squad, like I said, Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones. Then in the running back room, Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, Austin Eckler, Rico, and Ty Chandler. I think that's a decent 5. Definitely could have gone with the 6th, but I did feel good about taking 9. Wide receivers, don't love taking 9. Probably could have stopped, but it just felt right to grab one more Cowboy. I've got 3 Cowboys playing against Jalen Hurts. You know, if that's the Week 17 game that goes off, I think I've got a lot of ways to find success. Maybe Jalen Hurts runs in the touchdowns, doesn't share with his receivers, ends up being the guy you need in a naked, non-stacked structure, maybe in this tournament style. So it could work out, and I like those running backs just fine. Got some nice correlation with Tony Pollard against my Evan Ingram at tight end and Brian Thomas wide receiver. I think my wide receivers are stacked. Let's jump over to the wideouts. CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Amari Cooper. Spilled my water. I'll clean it up in a sec. It's fine. Brian Thomas, Adonai Mitchell, Marvin Mims, Devontae Walker, Jalen Tolbert. Probably could regret taking Marvin Mims. Should have gone Wan'Dale Robinson. That would have been nice. Tight end, Evan Ingram, Ben Sinnott. Not bad. Could be better. Ben Sinnott hits. This is fun. Also had Austin Eckler. You know, there's a theme here. I'm building out the NFC East. I've got Jalen Hurts and Daniel Jones, Austin Eckler, Rico Dowdle, Lamb, Neighbors, Tolbert, Sinnott. So I've got a lot of players in the NFC East. 3 Jalen Hurts push touchdowns as the Cowboys throw to come back. Hashtag C Division. I love it, Meatwad. That's exactly what I'm thinking here. And then, you know, maybe Daniel Jones does something great. Gives me some spike weeks throughout the playoffs. It helps me advance one of those weeks. Maybe Jalen Hurts is lower owned in the final. Who knows? Fun stuff. Let's pop over and review Brian's team. Three, 4, 9, 2 build. Very interesting. I did draft a team with this structure earlier today for Best Ball Mania. See what he did with it. Baker Mayfield at value. McCarthy at value. Minshew super late, which means he probably has Bowers. Interesting. He has Myers and Zamir White. He started pretty strong at running back, stopped at 4, which I like how he did that. All right, let's see how his team's built out, though. What's the correlation going on here with Mayfield, McCarthy, and Minshew? I'm looking for the vision. I see the team stack on the Raiders. He's got Laporta and Amon-Ra. He didn't get Goff, so that's going to hurt you a little bit. But I think it's still a fine way to play it because Detroit's is strong. strong team, strong offense, should score a lot of points. Good for fantasy. DK, Jordan Addison. So I gets Addison with McCarthy. He gets Dontavian Wicks. Maybe why he reached on Wicks a little bit. He was kind of envisioning going down the path of the Packers and Minnesota Vikings. Grabs Pearsall, Roman Wilson, Rashad Bateman, Jalen McMillan, who's a great pick on any team. Sam Laporta, Jake Ferguson, pretty interesting, strong tight end room. Decent, pretty strong wide receiver, I would say. It's deep and it's strong at the top. The running back stopped at 4, feels pretty good. So he also took David Montgomery. He really went hard on the Detroit Lions. Probably was looking for Goff. If we look back at the board, I bet you Goff got sniped right out from under him because he ended up with Baker late, which means he pivoted at quarterback. You see where Goff goes, 132. Brian should have taken him at 127 if he really needed him, wanted him there. Maybe was trying to push him to 138. We'll have to see if he follows up with this on Discord. It says what he was doing. As for me, that wraps up a night of drafting. Time to call it a day. Thanks for chilling, being in the chat, saying what's up. Appreciate it. Catch y'all next time. Drafting again live soon. Maybe tomorrow, who knows? I'm just happy I got a Dalmatian filled. Space out.